Anything wrong with that one?
Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Walter Sims, host of the Dr. Walter Sims Show, and I'm here with a new friend of mine, my brother from another mother. They call him Terrell Lloyd. He is the only African-American photographer in the NFL for the 49ers. Now, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, you know me and him have issues, but we sitting here elbow to elbow. I love this brother's spirit. Well, introduce yourself to everybody, Terrell.
Yeah, my name is Terrell. I'm with the 49ers. Been with the San Francisco 49ers for about 20 years now.
Oh,
But let's clarify that up now. So I was the first black African-American photographer that worked for the NFL as an official photographer.
Okay.
But I have a friend of mine that he's also the Rams team photographer now.
Oh,
he
wow.
just finished his first year.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
So you know, paving the way a little bit and, you know, helped him along his way to, you know, I don't want to say I got him the job, but I kind of like the little reference there, stuff like that. So he's headed into the second
that's
season.
really good, man. Knowing somebody that knows somebody and somebody be able to put in a good word for you. Know? So what would get you into photography? What was that thing for you that got you clicking a camera?
Well, you know, it's funny. I was when I was in high school, a friend of mine, you know, he was in a dark room one day, and I said, "Man, what are you doing here?" He said, "Man," and, you know, I was like, "I'm into photography and so on and so forth," and you know, this is what I do. And he took me into a dark room, and I immediately fell in love with it.
What you say?
In high school. So it was kind of like, then I went out and bought me a camera at one of the camera stores, and in between classes or when I didn't have class, you know where to find me. I was in a dark room in the
click,
exactly.
click.
So it started off in high school.
So what's been one of your highlights? If you sit and think about, and I'm sure you do from time to time, if you look over your career, give us a highlight and a not so highlight. What if you look back over the reel of your life, all puns intended? What would be one of your highs and one of your lows?
Well, one of the highs was, you know, when I was younger, and I was a pretty good bowler at the age of 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
And, you know, I had aspirations of going out on tour, being the first African American to win a national title, and you know, I had a big upside, right? And I felt that I could achieve that goal and be successful in that goal.
Right.
And, you know, and then, you know, when you talk about one of the lows in that same realm was when I got sick at 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
And then my lung collapsed out of the blue. And so the next thing I know, I mean, I was healthy one day, and the next thing I know, I'm in, you know, in the hospital for a month and a half in intensive care.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, imagine going from aspirations, you're going to college, you're going to school, you got a big upside, you're well known from San Francisco to LA, and, you know, now you're in the hospital wondering how you're going to get through this in your career. So it's like, So I would have to say that's one of my lows that, you know, it kind of like changed me a little bit and stuff like that. And, you know, I had to rehab and get my health back. And I eventually did go out on a Pro Bowlers tour. And, you know, and I wasn't as successful as, you know, I thought I could have been. But I still achieved that goal and went out on tour and, you know, made a little money and shot some perfect games and met some people. And, you know, and then, you know, in school I was taking computer science. And so when I came out to tour after 2.5, 3 years, you know, a friend of mine was coming, worked in a bowling alley for a long time, about 17 years when I was growing up too as well. And he said, well, you know, we're hiring our computer department. And I went down and interviewed for the job and got the job, and I worked for that company for 20 years.
How about that? So how did you get connected with the 49ers?
Well, so, and that brings me back to the photography side of it, which we were talking about in school. So, you know, after my bowling career, I mean, I was still bowling part-time, but then a friend of mine at work was getting married. And so I picked up my camera again. Right? Took it out the closet, picked it up, and I'm like, wow, went out at this wedding. I was like, wow, it was nice. Well, let me,
how about that?
You know, I was doing backyard weddings, you know, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, you know, and I was making a little money, you know, $500 here, $600 there. And I'm like, wow. I said, well, let me join a photography group, because I knew back in the day, you know, in school I was taking photography. And I went out and joined this group in the Bay Area called Professional Photographers of the Greater Bay Area. And I went in there, and everybody was serious. You know, they had medium format cameras.
They were not playing.
No. Let me tell you, they were serious. And I told myself, I said, okay. And anything that I said I was going to do, I was going to be good at it, right? And so I got serious right along with them.
What you say?
A guy mentored me along the way doing weddings, and I went out and bought me a medium format camera, and then that's what really started my career in photography. And I started doing events and portraits and product photography. And here we are today. And,
so one of the things you probably would want to share with everybody today is, if you're going to be serious about anything, get you somebody
to mentor you.
And that's a little bit better at it than you are.
Exactly. exactly. I mean, you know, I tell people too. I say, look, I mean, you got to share information. When I started speaking, it was like photographers wouldn't share any information. They would show great pictures, beautiful pictures, right? But I was a techie guy, you see, right? So I wanted to know what camera you used, what lens you used, what film was you using back in the day, right? And then what f-stop, shutter speed, you know, things like that. And so someone says, Terrell, why don't you start speaking? Right? I said, what am I talking about? Well, talk about what you do. And so I talk about what I start speaking about what I do, but then I also want to give them information that you can take back and apply to their craft as well, you know, and more technical information. Yeah, I can show great pictures, beautiful pictures, but if they don't have information on how I took that picture, what my thought process was, and what lenses I was using, and what, you know, camera I'm using, and what f-stop, shutter speed, ISOs now,
and all that matters.
All that matters, right? Exactly.
Yeah, because it's not so much just point and shoot. There's a rhyme and a reason.
Right. Exactly.
That's good stuff,
process,
man.
Right.
That's good. We were talking the other night, and you used a word that I talked about yesterday morning on my Periscope, my broadcast, of sustainability. That thing blessed me so, and a lot of people, the reason they'll attain and they'll maintain for a little while, but they don't have any sustainability.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
We're back now. Okay.
Man, talk about that word sustainability a little bit.
Right. So it's funny how I came up with that, because I always wanted, when I was going to do like certain programs, I like to change my programs up and so on and so forth. And I wanted to talk about success and what makes a person successful. How do you define that, right? And I looked at it and said, you know, defining the success is not about, you know, the car you drive or how much money you make or the house you live in.
That's
you know, and I was trying to come up with a term in photography term, or just in general terms. It's like, you know, and I thought about what I've done, and I say sustainability, right, in the business, where, you know, I've done, you know, in my business I was doing portraits, weddings, product photography, sports, you know, selective certain things. So it's like when something would taper off, I still had income coming in. I used to put a pie chart up. I learned that back from my corporate days, from when I had to do presentations and you know, so I put a pie chart up. Exactly. So I look at and I tell photographers, I say, well, if one piece drops off, you know, but you still got money coming in from here. So then you look in photography world or any business or whatever you're doing, it's about how a business could sustain over a long period of time, right? You know, it's like you go in business 1 year and be out of business the next 4 years after that. But over my time in photography, I would sustain, I would say, an income that I was comfortable with for over a 20-year period of time. Now I had some dips and valleys, but not a lot that's going to be like, because if you're just doing portraits or you're just doing weddings, and nowadays, you know, there's an influx of photographers, you know, digital is popular, right? You got more photographers out there, so the market share shrinks, right? So if the market share shrinks and you're just doing portraits, now your business goes down, it's like that moment, right? Because you're not doing anything else. So in your business, and if people call you up and say, hey, we got this corporate event we need to shoot, or we want you to shoot this meeting, you know, corporate client is that. I mean, you should have gone out there and shot those and learned how to do those. So now you add that to your portfolio of business. And now when a couple of portrait sessions go down or a couple of weddings go down, now you got a corporate client that you can, you know, pick up on, or maybe 2 corporate clients, 3 corporate clients. So that's why I say, you know, what defines success is sustainability over a long period of time to survive in a market that's growing.
That is good. Talk a little bit about a lot of people watching us today, right now, do things that they know they should not do. And kind of talk about, you got hired to do a job that was very lucrative. It was financially like bada bing, bada boom, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But in your gut, you said, Terrell said to himself, do not do the job. You didn't even want to do it.
Yeah, and not to mention any names. I mean, there was a job I had to do. There was a job I had to do, and I didn't feel good about it from the outset. You know, even a year before the job came up, and I decided to do it, and I didn't stick to my gut. And then I was working with you know, some other people and some other video people, and I got to, you know, when we worked out the agreement and so on and so forth, you know, it's like the budget thing got cut, which it shouldn't have gotten cut. So everything started bad in the outset, and we hadn't even left yet. And, you know, it was like what I said that would happen, and we were driving across country, And
Right.
you know, my one fear is that we would crash. Everything was reckless, and everybody was doing things that they shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And I prayed every city that I got to, that I got through that day.
Right.
Well, it was a 12, 14-day shoot, and day 8 came.
Day 8. Day 8.
And we were in Nebraska, and my assistant fell asleep at the wheel and we crashed.
Wow.
And that was my worst fear when I was able to get out of the car at the time, and luckily the traffic slowed down, but we ran in the back of a tow truck. I was able to get out of the car, and I rolled down an embankment. I landed up on my knees, and it was like I saw the car, it was all smashed in.
My Lord.
And I said, I knew this was going to happen. And then when they called my wife called me from the hospital, it was like, she said, Terrell, you told me something was going to happen.
Yeah.
You told me. So I had that premonition. So, I mean, I tell people now, it's like, if it don't feel right, don't do it.
You better say that.
You know.
And is that what you learned from that whole
Right.
episode? Because
Yeah.
it really kind of changed your perspective on some things.
Right.
Didn't it?
And regardless of, no matter how much money they're going to pay you, how much money you think you're going to make, and so on
Right.
and so forth, but what is your life worth? Is
My
your
Lord.
life worth
That's
$1?
good. That's good. That's
You know,
good, man.
You know,
that's good. That's
is
good.
it worth $1 million? There's no amount of money that's worth more than your life.
Oh, that's
so
good.
when you don't think something's right, that could affect you or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And your wife, she was concerned about you, wasn't she?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, it shook home a little bit, and
Yeah.
after that, you think about it. It's like you say, it's like what defines you, or what makes you successful is not money, it's not
That's
a house,
good.
it's not a car.
Yeah.
It's
good,
it's how you
man.
treat people and what you do. And so on
Yeah,
and so
I
forth.
like
So
this
yeah.
dude. Yeah, I like this. Give your contact information out real quick.
Well, you can reach me. Hey, I don't know if we're gonna blow up like that, so it's like but my email is terrell.lloyd at comcast.net.
Amen.
You can follow me on Twitter at tloyd49.
Okay.
If you're a sports person and
Oh, man.
you follow San Francisco 49ers, follow me on Instagram at 49ers official
Okay.
photog.
Okay, okay.
Or when the season starts and things
That's
like
good.
that.
So
yeah.
what's the buzz around the Bay Area? Y'all looking forward to a good season?
Yeah,
'Cause, man.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all in the NFC West, and
West.
that's tough, man. The Rams, because I play with the Rams on Madden, so
Okay.
Rams are tough. Seattle is tough. Arizona's tough. So what y'all gonna do this season?
Well,
man?
it's going to flip upside down. I mean, we had a turn. I mean, Seattle and Phoenix was high up there. The Rams didn't have a good season last year
That's
as well.
true.
So it's kind of like, if you look at NFL, it's an ebb and flow in the NFL.
That's right.
And teams that were bad get good.
That's
teams
right.
that were good eventually have tapered
Yeah.
off a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little turn there. And
Okay.
we got a new coach. We got a new GM. It's a
Awesome,
new buzz
awesome.
around the building.
Yeah.
It's going to be. We're going to build something that's going to be.
What
we'll be
you
back
say?
on top again.
Well, I see you in Chicago, man.
Exactly, in
I see you in
December.
Oh man, I'm gonna be there, man.
So now we got to take some pictures we have to share with your people on the sidelines. Like,
That's
okay,
what I'm talking about.
And
Click.
yeah, exactly, and then show you it's like, carry some gear. You're gonna be working. You're gonna be running.
Don't
some
worry,
gear. So
man.
get-
I'm gonna
so-
have me a 49er shirt on. I'm gonna have my cap on, be ready to work.
So get
Roll
your-
my sleeves up. I'm ready.
Get your tennis shoes ready, track shoes. You'll be ready to roll. All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Yeah, Terrell
Yeah.
Lloyd, 49er photographer, official. This is my dude, my brother from another mother. Man, I love you,
All right,
man.
thanks.
That's a
Great
good
meeting
dude.
you. Glad I met you.
He likes to have fun like I do.
Yeah.
We cut up last night? Well, we cutting up.
Oh yeah. We like to have fun. So it's like you may not see the last of me with my man here. So it's like I say, peace, have fun, be
Amen.
careful out there on the road.
This my dude. Y'all hold tight. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Hold on, we got